Hello, everybody. My name is Prince Boss, and welcome back to Ace Attorney Chronicles, the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. Last time we got ourselves in a little bit of a pickle. We are now, we're accused of murdering an Englishman on the soil of Japan. Now, after fighting off the nasally prosecutor, ouchie, we have finally figured out that there was indeed a second person at Mr. Wilson's table. Miss Giselle Brent. Today, we will be finding out the truth of this crime, and we will be trying to bring her to justice. Let us begin. Excellent work, Ryunosuke. That was superb. My heart was in my mouth the entire time. It was almost unbelievable. I mean, looking at you in there. You were drenched in sweat, your eyes popping, your knees knocking, and you were grinding your teeth. It was a grim sight, but before I knew it, you'd start finding inconsistencies in the testimonies. I think you might have a natural talent for being a lawyer. Forget it. It's terrifying. If I get through this, I don't ever want to see the inside of a courtroom again. Anyway, it looks like you've been exposed. We've exposed your phantom lading at last. Miss Giselle Brent, a student from Great Britain. Is she? That's what I was trying to tell everyone from the start. Dr. Wilson wasn't alone. There was a young woman with him, like I've been saying all along. Yes, you have, haven't you? I might not be overly confident in the courtroom, but my powers of observation are one thing I am sure of. Also, before we also continue on, I noticed that the video was not cropped right last time, and I'm super sorry about that. So I'm hoping that the issue is fixed now. Please, fingers crossed. Like, really? Fingers crossed? I hope it is. Yes, I can see that. So, how about this young gentlewoman? Thanks to our detective friend, she was hastily escorted away from the scene, it seems. Did you see what happened with that? No, I didn't see any of it. I was just on my way out of the restaurant myself. Then, on the floor next to Dr. Wilson's table, I noticed that there was a gun lying on the floor. And just after I bent down and picked it up, bang! I didn't have time to think about where the sound of the gunshot had come from. The waiter ran over to me, looking as white as a sheet. And he bundled me into some sort of small pantry next to the kitchen. Fast thinking by the detective. He apprehended his suspect without a moment's delay. Yes, and because I was shut in the pantry, I have no idea what happened outside in the dining area. There you are. Well done, both of you. So I think it is? Yes, it is. Professor Mikotoba! Well, it seems I was right. The pair of you make an outstanding team. You've exceeded my expectations, I have to say. Yes, it seems you planned this from the start. You arranged things so I wouldn't be able to act as a lawyer in this trial. Our modern country is still in its infancy. Our justice system, even more so. Which is why I firmly believe we need to send our brightest young stars overseas to learn all they can. I wanted to avoid a situation that may have resulted in your study tour of Great Britain being cancelled. Well, it makes no difference. Lawyer or otherwise, if I'm the kind of man who can't help his best friend avert the worst crisis of his life, I shouldn't waste everyone's time by going to study overseas anyway. What? What are you even saying, Kazuma? So that's your stance. I was afraid you'd feel that way. Kazuma! Well then, it looks like it all comes down to you, young man. To me? Yes, you need to prove your innocence, and uncover what really took place in that restaurant. I must say, I very much want to know the truth. After all, I have a personal connection to this case. Come to think of it, he said the same thing earlier this morning, didn't he? If you don't mind me asking, Professor, did you know the victim? Yes, I did. As you're probably aware, Dr. John H. Wilson was a visiting professor at UMI. Also, again, I adjusted the volume settings, so hopefully my voice is a little bit louder and the music's a little bit lower, because when I published it last time, I noticed that the mixing was very bad and the music was somewhat overpowering me in some ways. As well as, also, might want to also say this is where it's coming to new. The first part I played before, this part I haven't. So we're about to get into some new territory where I can double guess myself. It was I who invited him. Oh, I see. I didn't know that before. Anyway, you're about to go into battle. The victim was a university professor from Great Britain, and a well-known one at that. Naturally, our government is looking to identify and punish the culprit as quickly as possible. But let's not forget who we're going up against. This gentlewoman, whose involvement our police bureau went to extraordinary lengths to hide. That is true. Yes, and I'm sure the prosecution will be using every tool at their disposal to quash your case. But I've no doubt that you pair will put up a good fight, right to the last. Best of luck. Thank you! Now then, I need you to run an errand at the university at once. There's something I think we may need. Of course. Good luck, Kazuma-sama. Defendant Naruhodo! Court recess is over. Please make your way back inside the courtroom at once. It's time. Let's get back to it, partner. Let's go in there and deal a decisive blow, before these old fossils knew what hit them. Kazuma? What? Thank you. Really. What for? Well, if you hadn't said you believed me, then I'm fairly sure I'd already been found guilty by now. Look, I have faith in you. As a lawyer, and as a friend. Coming from you, that means a lot. If I'm found guilty in this trial, he's really going to give up on his dream of studying abroad. That's the kind of true friend he is. So this isn't just my battle anymore. Whoever we're up against, we absolutely cannot afford to lose. Alright then. I'll save the thank yous for after the trial. You can treat me to one of those sukiyaki meals I like from Yumi Cafeteria on University Street. With an extra large portion, of course. I don't understand these references. I'm not rehearsed in Japanese culture. The court hereby resumes the trial of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Prosecutor Aochi, have you managed to subpoena the witness? Yes, Your Excellency, against all odds. And thanks to a certain young stripling, the prosecution is now under rather painful scrutiny from the government. Sorry. Let the government scrutinize. It's their job. It's nothing to worry about. Highly unlikely that the good relations we forged with Great Britain will emerge from this trial unscathed. Will you still think it's nothing to worry about when the new treaty breaks down in our nation founders? Again, terribly sorry. It's the friendship between our nation. If the friendship between our nations is really so fragile, then the treaty isn't worth the paper it's written on. You really have nothing to worry about, Ryunosuke. What do you mean? A secret trial, anxiety over some foreign government's opinions, a bungled investigation, missing witnesses. Is this what our nation's justice system is? Is this the Supreme Court of Japan or of England? Shut up, you jumped-up rookie boy. You and your friend know nothing of the situation our nation finds itself in. By aligning ourselves with this great world power, we'll become strong. Diplomacy has never been more critical. Steady political maneuvering is what will secure our futures. I won't deny that I'm no expert. I'm just a student, and one who could arguably study harder too. But standing here now in our Supreme Court, there is one thing that I feel very strongly. A country that fails to uphold the truth in its justice system is a country with no future at all. Well said, Ryunosuke, despite that wide-eyed look of terror. You little brats! Thank you, Counsel. This court is the pinnacle of our nation's justice system, and exists solely for the pursuance of truth. With that in mind, this trial will now resume with the next witness taking the stand. The visiting student from Great Britain, Miss Giselle Brent. Brett. I thought it was Brent. It's Brett. Yes. Your Excellency! Oh. Dear me. It is her. Well, what a delight it is to welcome such a fine gentlewoman to Japan, and from such a distant land. Tea! Someone bring English tea! In England, no discussion takes place without tea. The stereotypical tea. Is that true? No idea. So, could we possibly trouble you to state your name and occupation for the court? Of course. My name is Satoru Hosonaga. I have been working undercover as the head waiter at Le Carnival, but my true— Yes, we know about you already. Inspector Hosonaga, where are your manners? In England, it's always ladies first. Is that true? No idea. More importantly, a little earlier today, you said something to me. You said your powers of observation are the one thing you're sure of. Oh, yes, I think I did, didn't I? Yet your description of this amazing sight was simply a woman. Sorry, Ryunosuke, but powers of observation aside, your powers of description are sorely lacking. Guilty. So, dear lady, once again, if we may trouble you for your name and occupation, please. Oh, God. Oh, I get it. Because we don't speak English. Because we're Japanese. Oh! Okay, I get it. We don't understand. Got it. I'm terribly sorry, dear lady, but... What? The lady says her name is Giselle Brett. She comes from London, England. She's a visiting research student, currently enrolled in Uni University's medical facility. Oh my, what a rare treat to hear the dual-set tones of the delightful language of the British people. I'm afraid I don't understand a word you said, but it was as beautiful as a hummingbird's song. As far as I can tell, the detective is translating her words faithfully enough. Yes, I agree. Haha, you obviously do fine in England, Kazuma. Her English doesn't rattle you at all, does it? No, you. You've clearly been paying attention in your English classes, Ryunosuke. Nope. The court thanks the beautiful lady for taking the stand. Now, if we may trouble you to confirm something, Miss Brett. 3 days ago, at a restaurant called Le Carnival, a grim murder took place. The court has been led to believe that you were dining there with the victim, Dr. Wilson, at the time. Is that correct? She says, yes, that was not all she said. This could take some time. So even though she's studying here in Japan, she can't speak any Japanese. She'd like to apologize for disappearing from the scene. She says that she was due to make a presentation at the university, so she had to leave immediately. Interesting. When you're the one who engineered her escape. I was just following special orders from the Bureau. Well now, dear lady, would you be so kind as to cast your eyes over this photographic print? Seeing as you were so unfortunately present at the scene of the crime, could it be that your resplendent eyes caught sight of this wicked perpetrator, perhaps? Apparently, it was very frightening and sorrowful sight. Do you mean to say? Yes, it would appear the lady did witness the crime. The very moment when the accused, standing right there in this courtroom, shot the victim in cold blood. Excuse me? Order! Order in court! Did you hear that, Your Excellency? Here we have an absolutely conclusive witness statement. Well, it looks like it's clear now. Clear who our real enemy is. Fortunately, I have to ask you to formally testify, if you please. Kindly tell the court the exact nature of this frightening and sorrowful sight you described. Oh, this is gonna take some time. If it's gonna lead like this will take forever. I had arranged to meet for a certain late luncheon with Dr. Wilson that day. The professor wasn't able to eat, so I ordered for myself only a beef steak. After a while, the accused came over to greet the professor and they got into a fierce argument. Then, not long afterwards, the accused took the professor's gun and shot him right before my eyes. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit. Right. Right. That's what they all say. Yes! Oh god. No! I didn't have any kind of argument with the professor at all! Objection! Quiet, you filthy wretch! Look at you, you black-hearted blackguard! And look at this snow-white angel! I'm sure even a dark-minded scoundrel like you can imagine those words the court is going to believe. You're still making the same mistakes, Ryunosuke. You mustn't blurt out when you're goaded like that. Yeah, that's a lesson you need to learn. Yeah, but he's so annoying! Of course, I was at the scene as well. I took statements from this lady and the two witnesses who testified before, and reported back to the Bureau. It was decided that Miss Brett was not involved, so I let her go. The testimonies of the last two witnesses were completely worthless, however. Well, even so, on the day in question, the lady was wearing the same outfit as she is today. As you can see, there is nowhere about her person where she could conceal a firearm. Under her hat, she can! I would think she could have had a gun almost anywhere in that outfit if she wanted to. Unless and until the precise location where the witness is to have hidden the weapon can be showed, this is moot. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. Those are the witness's own words on the matter. Ah, this is ridiculous. If only I were allowed to lift up her dress, I could prove it. Okay, Ryunosuke, calm down. You can't do that. Don't think about doing anything rash, Ryunosuke. But I didn't fire the gun I picked up. There must have been another gun there that day. You're right about that. Which means this lady was hiding a gun somewhere. Yes, that's what we have to prove now. And to do so, we will need to pull her testimony apart. There's a fucking grin! Bitch. The defense may now cross-examine the witness. Oh, yes, Your Excellency. Alright, so... there's nothing in there that seemed to be... damning? We don't have any real big evidence. So my thing is that we have to press her on the argument. This one we know. For a while, the accused came over to greet the professor and they got into a fierce argument. What were we arguing about?
Yes!
I never got into an argument. I never got into an argument with the professor. All I did when I noticed him was go over and say hello. Please, don't get angry with me. No, I wasn't directing that retort at you. It was meant for the lady next to you. But anyway, as I said, I did not argue with the professor. It's a he said, she said kind of thing. I'm afraid your words are in vain. Sorry? This Brett does not appear to speak Japanese. No, of course not. Japanese is such a cumbersome language anyway. Okay, bro, you're speaking it right now! English is the future. We must all... speak English! I'm weak, bro! That's great! I love this game! I love this game! I wonder if the prosecution will feel that way forever, or only in the presence of a beautiful woman, Well, that beautiful woman is telling blatant lies with a complete straight face. I have to find something that will unravel her testimony, no matter how seemingly insignificant it may be. Anyway, it seems that after the argument, the accused briefly returned to his own seat. That part ties in with what you said, doesn't it? Yes, I still had some coffee to drink. And the next time you got up after that was when I finished my coffee and stood up to leave. Fucking grinning.
Yes!
Like I said, I did not shoot that gun. Like I said, there's no point repeating that recitation over and over. Well, I wasn't expecting to be attacked by my own side. Nevertheless, the defendant, you cannot deny that when the shot rang out of the restaurant, you had a gun in your hand. Well, yes, that's true, but all I did was pick up the gun I saw on the floor next to the professor as I was leaving the restaurant. In fact, yes, there was someone much closer to the victim than me at that time, the highly suspicious lady in the stand. That will do, you dirty, rotten scoundrel! Dirty? Your baseless accusations could very well cause an international incident, boy! It seems to me that your accusation is just as baseless as ours. What nonsense! The lady is merely stating what she saw. And this is already an international incident as far as I'm concerned anyway. I don't carry a gun myself, so obviously I couldn't have been the culprit.
Yes!
It's all very well saying that, but can you prove it? Absolutely. I verified it personally. You verified it? Yes, immediately after the incident, I checked to make sure the lady was not carrying a weapon. I distinctly remember her saying, "I'm not." That's all you did? You just asked her? Surely you carried out a physical search, Inspector. No. Oh my god. What kind of police force is this? Why on earth not? The honorable English gentlewoman clearly stated that she did not possess a weapon. There's obviously no need for any further probing into the matter. Or there was no permission given from any further probing into the matter, perhaps. Think what you will. But if you're going to continue with this preposterous claim that the refined lady was concealing a firearm, the prosecution demands that you support your assertion with facts. In other words, he wants evidence. Ugh. The lady wishes to point out that, of course, she wanted to stay and assist with the investigation, but she was in a hurry to give the presentation at the university, so she was compelled to leave. Not to mention the fact that your office has told you to get rid of the woman. Not to get her out of there, I just urged her to leave. The lady would like to point out that she in no way meant to run away from the scene of the crime, which is why she is only too happy to cooperate and testify here in court today, of course. Unlike a certain student who refuses to admit when the game is up. You could at least have the courtesy to pay attention when I'm goading you. No. Fuck you, ouchie. Like Dr. So she's maintaining that you got into an argument with the professor, at the end of which you shot him. Which is an out-and-out, totally unfounded lie. Still, her statement is very compelling. After all, she's an elegant, refined, young, and beautiful gentlewoman from Great Britain. In stark contrast to you, dressed from head to toe in a dull black school uniform. I'm just exactly the same way as you are, except for the flapping red ribbons. Well, anyway, this is our only chance to expose her testimony as the fiction that it is. If we cannot do that, this trial is over. Even you, with your thick skull, must be able to feel the murderous looks you're getting from around the room. Only too well. I feel half dead already. And the fact that I can't see a single inconsistency in her testimony doesn't make me feel any better either. First thing to do is press her on any of her statements that seem even slightly off to you. Do that, and an opening will present itself. I promise you. I need to expose the true face of this exotic foreigner that's hiding behind the mask. That's what I should be aiming for in this cross-examination. I'd arranged to meet for a slightly late lunch with Dr. Wilson that day. Why?
Yes!
After 2 p.m., in fact. That's really quite a late lunch, isn't it?
Objection!
You don't keep up with the latest fashions of Britain, do you? Late luncheons are in vogue, isn't that right? No. Ugh. A decisive English no has quite a sting to it. The gentlewoman is currently working in the victim's research laboratory, it seems. So it was apparently a daily occurrence that they would lunch together. But on the day in question, the victim had another appointment at the clinic first. Yes, which we can prove from the medical report card that was submitted as evidence earlier. That's right. Miss Brett and the victim went to lunch following the victim's treatment, which is why it was so late. Yes, that all makes perfect sense. Such wonderful logic. What a shining example of English intelligence this fine woman is. So you both arrived at the restaurant. What happened next? Yes! Ordered the steak. He was unable to eat, you say? And that was because he had just had his tooth removed at a Hada clinic, correct? That's correct. You're supposed to actually check this before answering. Was Miss Brett aware of this fact? It seems so, yes. She'd heard that from the professor who was She heard that the professor was to have some dental treatment. So that would mean that it was you who ate the steak pictured here. Is that right, Miss Brett? That's right, yes. The print you have there shows the table exactly as it was left after the horrifying incidents. Exactly as it was? No, add that to the testimony. I can fucking get the picture in there. Fuck you. Dear me, what a harrowing experience. I will kick your ass. Lady. Not in real life, though. You have traveled to a distant island on this far side of the world and be embroiled in such a tragic incident. Have no fear, my dear lady. I swear I will crush the evil fiend that has subjected you to this terrible plight. So the victim, Dr. Wilson, had nothing to eat or drink at all? That's right, other than some carbonated water. Just water? Yes, the professor was unable to eat, but he had been given permission to drink water. So it appears that the diners toasted their lunch with a glass of water each. They each raised a glass of carbonated water. Bitch! Alright, hold up. Back. There's only one glass! What do you mean, each? What do you think, Ryunosuke? What about the witness's last statement? It's meaningful. Very meaningful. That last statement of yours, Miss Brett, has a profound bearing on this case. Well, well, how fascinating. Do tell us, what is this profound bearing, Come on. The significance of the statement will become apparent when the time is right. The defense calls for the witness's last statement to be formally added to the testimony. Well, sidestep, counsel. Very well, Miss Brett. Kindly repeat what you just said to be added to your official testimony. Gladly, she says. She didn't fucking speak! That was Brian Cosma. I'm gonna remember that one. Which one? The significance that will become apparent when the time is right. I could really use that phrase. I'd hope there are some more useful tips you're picking up from this experience than that, Ryunosuke. I hope so, too. I ordered a beefsteak for myself, and the professor and I said cheers over a glass of carbonated water. I had... Yep. Alright, so now. Fucking... Where in this picture do you see... Yes! 2 glasses of water. That's it! Let me just confirm something, please. It's to do with this photographic print. Where do you see 2 glasses of fucking water? And just a short while ago, you spoke of this print showing the victim's table at the crime scene. That it was exactly as it was left. That is correct, the lady says. Well, it's odd, very odd. Dear me, what's odd is the defense's inability to express itself. Ryunosuke, what is this about the print that looks odd to you? Well, obviously, it's the cheers. The cheers. Miss Brett just told us that she and the professor said cheers over a glass of water. But if that's true, there should be 2 glasses on the table, not 1. You're quite right, Counsel. There's only one glass pictured here.
Objection!
Are we supposed to be impressed by this nitpicking over... What? Minute? What? What possible difference does the presence or absence of a glass make in this case?
Objection!
Minute, you say? Could it be that the detective here removed a glass from the table to conceal the lady's presence? Of course not. I would never do something so reckless. But there should have been 2 glasses on the table. Or are you going to try and tell me you can just clink with only 1? You're quite right. I certainly took 2 glasses to the table. Oh. What's going on? Inspector, what did the lady say? It would seem that it was Miss Brent who took the glass from the table. What? It was all so terrifying, everything that happened. I panicked and thought I should try to hide the fact that I had been there at all, she is saying. Good gracious! Show yourself! Show your face! Sorry. There, as I assured the court before, there is no this is of no consequence at all. Oh, please. You must remember that this student had just murdered this lady's luncheon companion before her very eyes. Who would blame her for concealing a glass or 2 in a state of disarray? That's absurd! Oh, really? So do we take it that you are now going to accuse this vulnerable, young, and beautiful woman of mischief? What? No. This can't be put down of mischief. I'd like to know exactly how the lady took the glass from the scene. It would seem that she slipped into a small handbag she was carrying. A handbag, you say? Yes, Your Excellency, a small handheld pouch commonly carried by well-to-do England and women. Or women in England. I got it backwards! How? I'm so mad. So the beautiful lady had graciously explained how and why she removed the glass from the scene now. However, the fact remains that this glass has absolutely no bearing on the case. The student has been trying to confuse the court with logical reasoning, but in the end it comes to nothing. No more pretentious accusations. You have wasted enough time already. Indeed, the lady has offered a satisfactory explanation as to why she removed the glass. I think henceforth we can consider that matter to have no bearing on the case. Counsel for the defense, are you in agreement? No. Well, I don't know, really. If you want to pursue this matter further, you're going to need to show that it has some deeper significance. Yes, you're right. So she took the glass away in her handbag. Is there a deeper significance there? It's the handbag. Wait, the lady put her glass in her handbag, you say? Yes, do try to keep up. It's already been explained to the court that all English gentlewomen carry handbags for small items. Let me see. A little while ago, Miss Brett stated the following. There are no pockets in my outfit. I have nowhere to hide a gun. But what she forgot to mention was her handbag, in which it would be perfectly possible to conceal a gun. You're right! Well done, partner. I had a feeling you'd pick up on that too. What are you insinuating, you vile blackguard? God, I can't speak. Whew! It's really very simple. The gunshot was heard when the defendant picked up a gun from the restaurant floor. As he didn't fire that gun, we can deduce there must have been another firearm at the scene. A true murder weapon, if you will.
You can't seriously be suggesting...
Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? Did you or did you not search Miss Giselle Brett's handbag on the day of the murder? Yes, sir. I did not. As I thought. In other words, another gun, the one that was actually used to kill the professor, could have been hidden in Miss Brett's handbag.
No!
Order! Order! Order!
What is the meaning of this, Inspector?
The meaning of what, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Why on earth did you not have the lady open her handbag and show you the contents at that time? Thanks to your bungling incompetence, now she has to endure these uncomfortable accusations.
Brilliant work, partner. Now we have a chance to expose the real woman behind the mask. Do you think so, Kazuma? Okay, Hosonaga, calm down. Well, what a sorry situation. Clearly, you have no faith in the police. As I said, I did not search the lady's handbag after the shooting. Simply because... hold on one second, guys. I'm sorry, everyone. I am back. I took an hour-long break because one of my sister's friends came into my room. She is deaf, so I was talking with her through sign, and my dad was coming home with groceries, so I helped him with all that. I think... well, I think that I missed a line of dialogue before. I don't remember, but luckily I do know where we were. So, let's get back into it. Unnecessary in what way? I ought to thank the student lawyer, really. I have a piece of evidence here that I have completely forgotten about. It's photographic print. Oh, you bet. What's that? This print is of a photograph that I thought would be prudent to take immediately after the shooting. As you can see, it clearly shows Miss Brett's handbag. Well, I never. You can see right through what's inside. That's right. Apparently, meshwork bags like these are the height of fashion in London at the moment. So the contents are clearly visible. Exactly. So there was no need to search the lady's handbag. If there had been a gun inside, it would have been immediately obvious. As you can see, there's nothing to imply Miss Brett's guilt here. Thank you for helping to prove that, Naruhodo-san. Oh shit. Order! Order! Inspector Hosonaga, you will submit that print as evidence at once. Certainly, Your Excellency. Okay. So, there was something on his hand, or wrist. Wrist is part of the hand. I think you've had long enough to cross-examine the witness, counsel. No. Let me examine it. There was something up here. hell is that? The hell is that? Is that blood? No, it's not blood. What the hell is that? Is that a birthmark? Weird. Also, wait. What's this? Is that supposed to be shadow, or it might be shadow? I am suspicious. The court has now been shown considerable evidence. As the photographic print just submitted into the court record appears to have no further significance, I am satisfied that there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling.
Indeed, as there is only one logical conclusion. That the pathetic rookie slumped over the bench before us is the only possible perpetrator of the crime.
Oh. No. Just when I thought I was beginning to turn things around, I am in a worse situation than I was at the start.
No, Kazuma!
Kazuma?
I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. And now that the cross-examination of the witness is over, there's no way to force the trial to continue.
What? You mean this is it?
I must say, you put up quite a fight for a rookie student. But the weak are beat, while the strong eat. You were wasting your time. There was no way to defeat true justice. A fact you could chew on to your heart's content from the inside of your cell.
This can't be happening. Am I really going to be found guilty of a crime that I didn't commit? And Kazuma, his dream of going to study in Great Britain will slip through his fingers. Kazuma?
What?
Is there really no chance now of turning this trial around?
You heard the judge? There's nothing about that last photograph the detective produced that we can contest. Which means there's no basis on what we can argue for the trial to continue.
There is, though. The thing on his hand. What's that thing?
Very well. I will now proceed immediately to the ruling. It seems we will be able to report to the British government on time after all. That smug little... Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Having considered...
Wait, Your Excellency.
Ryunosuke?
I don't think you can rule on this case yet.
Objection!
This amateurishness is getting tedious. When His Excellency deems the trial is over, he gives his ruling. That is the most basic protocol of the courtroom.
Yes!
Your Excellency, just a moment ago you said this. As the photographic print just submitted appears to have no further significance, there is no longer any room for doubt in this matter, and I must make my ruling. Now that means that if it were a problem with the evidence, some significant detail I mean, then ruling on the case at this time would be out of the question.
Objection!
Oh, he's becoming a real lawyer now.
This is a blatant straw clutching. Look at the photographic print. All it shows is the handbag the gentlewoman was carrying on the day in question. There can be no problem with this evidence. You'd better know what you're doing, Ryunosuke. I understand your objection, counsel. Certainly, the new evidence submitted by the detective has not undergone the court's scrutiny. However, I fail to see how we can glean any new information from this handbag. My thoughts exactly. Really, the prosecution is becoming tired of this rookie's desperate wheezes.
Yes, I am desperate, but this isn't a wheeze. There's something about this photograph which just doesn't seem right. If only I could put my finger on it.
Very well. I will grant the defense one final opportunity.
But be warned that if I am unsatisfied by your response here, the trial will be over with immediate effect. Let's just save. I'm a little worried. Do I make myself clear? Yes, Your Excellency. So, take another look at the photographic print Inspector Hosonaga submitted before. You will identify for the court where in this print we see a significant detail to which we have alluded. Has to be that. Right? The mark on his arm? I'm going for it.
Yes!
Look at this, here. There's a very unusual mark on the victim's wrist. It is that one, let's go! That is true. It looks almost like a burn of some description. Oh, it's a burn.
Objection!
Dear me, I was pondering what new piffle you would come out with. A burn, you say, on the victim's wrist. Certainly, clearly this has nothing whatsoever to do with the magnificent lady's handbag.
Yes, that is a burn mark, you're right. Go on, Inspector. The police coroner also noticed it when he was performing the post-mortem examination. It was deemed unrelated to the cause of death, so he didn't note it in his report.
What did I tell you? In any case, we have no idea when the victim suffered this burn, do we? And no possible way of knowing either.
The more I look at it, the more I find myself intrigued by the curious shape of this mark. Is that a fork? Fork? It's a fork! No fucking way! No! It's that! It's that thing! It's this! It's the bullhorn thing! Holy shit! However, as Prosecutor Ouchie points out, unless a firm connection to the case can be shown, I cannot allow any further time to be spent on the precise details of this burn. Uh-oh. Excuse me, Your Excellency. It would seem Miss Brett has a lunch appointment with the Dean and other university staff. She would like to know if she may be excused from the stand now.
Oh, of course, dear lady. We shan't hold you up any longer. I'm quite sure His Excellency is about to give his final ruling anyway.
What's your thinking on this, Rie Inosuke? Do you believe this burn has something to do with the case? To be honest, I'm not really sure. Well, I fucking am! But if I don't keep pushing, then it's all over. So I was thinking I should keep digging and digging, in the hopes that I might uncover something useful. Yes, you're right.
I am?
If we can just link that burn to the case, if we can do that, we might be able to praise this shutting door back open again. Praise? Prize. Damn it. Prize this shutting door back open again.
Just give up, Counsel. You can't possibly hope to do that.
Indeed. I'm afraid without evidence I cannot allow you to pursue what is little more than conjecture. But if we had evidence that irrefutably links the burn on the victim's wrist to the case, then would you allow it? I would, yes. To tell the truth, I hadn't noticed that burn. But as soon as you pointed it out, what I did notice was the color draining from Miss Brett's face. Really? I have to find some link between the burn and the case. I fucking know. This is the moment of truth. Time to find some evidence that proves what the burn really means. So do I have to, like, point it out, or do I have to... Alright, no. It's in the crime scene photo. Let's fucking go!
So then, the defense will now present its evidence to the court. The evidence that demonstrates an inextricable connection between the victim's burn and this trial.
Can I do this? No. Okay. It happens to be the crime scene. Oh, review scene? Wait, review scene. Oh, okay. This!
Yes!
What's this, counsel? Yet another print?
Yes, Your Excellency. I believe photographic prints are an amazing invention. When we humans look at a scene, we miss things. But in a photograph, things we may have overlooked at the time are recorded forevermore.
Do hurry up, rookie. What are you trying to say? To inconvenience this poor lady any further really would be quite inexcusable.
Actually, we may need you to stay with us a little while longer if you don't mind, Miss Brett. You see, it's very clearly visible in this other photograph. How did the victim come to have that unusually shaped burn on his wrist? The reason is recorded here forevermore. What? How?
Objection!
You cannot fool me with your little bluffs, boy. If that's your game, then let's see how it plays out. Show the court exactly what you mean. What is in this photograph that explains the reason for the victim's burn?
That.
Yes!
The beef steak?
Actually, the point is the metal plate the steak was served on.
The plate? Your Excellency, are you alright?
As you can see, there's an emblem on the plate. I would guess it's some sort of trademark of Le Carnival. The emblem on the plate. And the victim's burn are exactly the same shape.
Ryanosuke, you genius!
You're spot on. Which means the victim must have suffered this burn while he was present at the restaurant. Aw, shit.
Objection!
But even if that is the case, we cannot know if it happened on the day in question or not. It could have been the day before, or the day before that. It most likely happened at some other unrelated time.
Well,
Objection!
Certainly, Prosecutor Alchi, the chances of that are extremely slim.
thanks.
Why? The outline of the burn is clearly discernible. Such a serious injury would have caused quite a commotion in the restaurant. Wouldn't you agree, Inspector Hosonaga?
I can't imagine having missed such a terrible disaster, sir.
But...
I would say... Oh, that's Hosonaga. I would say, looking at the picture of the wound, it is... that it wasn't suffered very long ago. And, although it's not a particularly large burn, it's extremely well defined, as the defense just pointed out. This was no mild burn, that's for sure. Can you be more specific, Inspector? Well, let's see. If the plate was at around 90 degrees centigrade, a burn like that would have taken around 3 seconds.
It's inconceivable that the victim wouldn't let out a scream of pain then.
I've been investigating at the restaurant for several weeks already, but I've not heard anyone scream at all. As the head waiter of Le Carnival, I can testify to that without hesitation.
But you're a detective, not a waiter!
Yes!
There you have it. Something isn't right here. As the detective said, anyone who'd burnt themselves on a piping hot plate for a whole 3 seconds would scream in pain. There's no question of that.
And yet Inspector Hosonaga never heard the professor scream. Not on that day, or any other before that.
That's right. And the strange thing is, on the day he was shot, I didn't hear him cry out either.
What are you suggesting?
Well, if the professor had carelessly laid his wrist on the plate for anything like 3 seconds that day.
That would be beyond careless, I think, Counsel.
And the rest of us in the restaurant, myself, the sergeant, and the old antiques dealer, all of us would, without any question, have heard him scream. Wouldn't you agree, Prosecutor Ouchie?
Well, yes, I suppose.
So the question is, why didn't a single person hear Dr. Wilson scream?
I almost don't believe it. Ryunosuke, do you think...
Can it really be true? I never dreamed we would arrive at a conclusion like this, but I'm starting to think that maybe we've been led into a terrible trap. There's only one explanation I can think of to make sense of this apparent impossibility. On the day in question, when he suffered the burn to his wrist, Dr. Wilson was already dead, right? Must have already been dead. Already dead. No man could remain silent while his wrist was burning on a piping hot plate for 3 whole seconds. That's clearly impossible. Apart from it in one particular situation.
Counsel, are you suggesting?
Yes, it's only possible if the man was already dead.
Already... dead? Uh-oh.
Knowing what we know now, it's the only possible explanation. When the beefsteak was brought to Dr. Wilson's table that day, the professor was already dead. That's madness! Oh, shit. What's going on here?
Order! Order! Order, please! Counsel, explain this absurd notion at once. The victim was killed by a gunshot.
That's right. That's absurdly right, Your Excellency. This is just another ridiculous point by the rookie student, but clearly he has no grasp of the facts.
Objection!
No, Prosecutor Ouchie, it's you who has no grasp of the facts.
I beg your pardon.
As soon as it became apparent that the victim had suffered that burn while at the restaurant, this whole case was turned upside down. Or have you not grasped that yet? Your Excellency, the court must hear from this witness again. If it is true, as we now believe, that the victim was already dead before the gunshot was heard, it's highly likely that Miss Brett knows something about it. Incredible! I certainly didn't anticipate this twist of events. I'm sorry to say, Miss Brett, that you will have to forget your luncheon engagement.
But, Your Excellency...
The justice system in our country may be in its infancy, but rest assured, all reasonable doubts must be dispelled before I am prepared to pass judgment.
Thank you, Your Excellency. Oh, she's about to snap. Uh-oh. What was that smile?
Yes, of course. I mean, I'd be delighted to help. Especially if it helps relations between my country and yours.
She knows Japanese! The bitch!
Miss Brett, you speak Japanese? Well, of course I do. I am studying in your country after all.
But then, why have you been speaking through an interpreter until now?
My mother tongue, the Queen's English, is the most refined and elegant language in the world. As a gentlewoman, I try to avoid speaking in your vocal tones as much as possible.
Okay. Alright, lady. Okay. Anything this woman says from now on is the game and not me. I feel the same way, Ryunosuke. And Ouchie. I never thought I'd be in Ouchie's world.
But it seems the men in this land possess none of the chivalrous virtues of English gentlemen. So I can see that I shall have to lower myself to communicating with you all on your own level.
Oh, well, you are the epitome of a true English gentlewoman. We are truly honored by this lavish consideration you've so graciously offered us.
I see. In that case, Miss Brett, I will now ask you to testify in your own words about the events leading up to the death of the victim, Dr. Wilson. So, we're finally going to hear her own words on the matter. Things are getting interesting, Ryunosuke. Indeed they are. What the hell is going on?
Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death beside the gunshot,
Unless he was poisoned.
If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please, do show me. But of course, this country's inferior investigative techniques probably won't pick up on any of it.
See, you just outed yourself at that point. That most captivating and beautiful testimony will go down in Supreme Court's history. Thank you. Easy does it.
I hope that is the last I will have to sully my lips with the coarse tones of your unbecoming tongue. Oh, forgive me. I do hope I haven't insulted anyone.
Fuck you.
Not at all, not at all. Simp. It is a delight immediately to hear you speak, dear lady, as it seems very clear from your testimony that this boorish talk of the victim's bird is utterly irrelevant.
I will be speaking to your country's Minister of Justice about what has happened here today.
The Minister of Justice?
May that irritating little bully of a student be given the harshest punishment possible. Amen.
Okay. Calm yourself, Miss Brett. You bitch. Huh? Thanks? Was that the prayer then? Well, you'll have to forgive the irritation, Miss Brett, and put up with the cross-examination now. I expect you've noticed that this little bully of a student, as you put it, doesn't miss much. I'm sure I don't need to remind you, counsel, that this will be your final cross-examination in this trial. If you fail to demonstrate any problems with this witness's testimony, I will be ruling on the case immediately. Is that clear? What the fuck, idiot sandwich? Yes, Your Excellency. Then you may proceed with the cross-examination. Is nobody going to question how he slapped himself? With both hands? Okay. Alright. This bitch is going down. One way or a fucking another. Unfortunately, I have no idea when the poor man burnt his wrist like that. Alright, I can't really press or get any information from that. When the waiter brought my steak, the professor and I raised our glasses in a toast.
Yes!
About what? As you testified before, you were drinking carbonated water. Is that right?
Dr. Wilson was only permitted to drink water at that time, if you remember, which explains why he ordered that drink, correct, waiter?
Exactly as you say, sir. Although,
Although...
whether or not the professor actually drank any of the water when I delivered the steak to the table, I'm afraid I don't remember that.
Oh, shit!
Damn you.
I have enough English to understand that, at least, for the benefit of others in the court. It means, bless you.
I think it means the exact opposite. Anyway, however, heard the post-mortem report showed no other possible cause of death besides the gunshot. If there's some other way a man's life can be taken without leaving a trace, please do show me.
Yes!
Without leaving a trace? If someone is shot, or strangled, or stabbed, or thrown from a height. However a person's life is taken, there are always telltale traces on the body.
Quite right, dear lady. As our police force has thoroughly examined the body of the deceased, there can be no doubt. Isn't that right, Inspector Hosonaga?
As I've said, I always aim for a flawless investigation. There would be physical traces of all those causes of death, that's true. But maybe there's some other way of killing someone that doesn't leave a mark. Like poisoning! If, heaven forbid, you doubt me, young man, you're going to have to tell everyone how exactly you think the professor did lose his life. Otherwise, I'm afraid your argument falls rather flat, doesn't it?
Oh no, perish the thought, calling such a sweet young lady's innocence into question. Oh, on my honor, I, Takatuchi Ouchi, will cut down any who dare cast such aspirations.
A way of killing someone that leaves no trace. We need some evidence to back us up here. Yes, evidence. But of course, this country's inferior investigative technique probably won't pick up on it.
Yes!
What do you mean? Inferior? What do you mean by that? In the lands of the Great British Empire, the police store everything found in the crime scene for later examination. But in this country, you investigate once, and that's the end of it. Isn't that so?
Quite right. Le Carnival is open for business as usual today, just days after the incident.
Exactly. Which means that even if the investigation takes a different direction, vital evidence may be lost. What? What is he doing? It doesn't even occur to you, naive detective, to try and preserve the crime scene. I'm trying to be as tactful about this as I can, you understand? Right.
A killer blow. The lady is as formidable as she is beautiful.
Amazing. Oh, amazing. He's actually admitting our police may be flawed. Perhaps Prosecutor Ouchi is finally starting to see sense. I very much doubt that. Still, there's something about what Miss Brett just said. There was a moment before when something didn't seem quite right. Saga? What do you think, Ryunosuke? I think it's going terribly. No matter how much I press her, I'm not turning up any new information. Yes, as I suspected, she's a tough witness. We need to find a way to break her testimony. Oh, the cross-examination will be over. But that would mean I have to find a way. There must be some clue somewhere to help us find a chink in her armor. Azuma? What, Ryunosuke? There is one thing I noticed. Something that's been bothering me. Bothering you? You mean about Miss Brett? Actually, no. About the person standing next to her, Inspector Hosonaga. The detective? Yes, he seemed to react a little strangely to Miss Brett's last statement. I was wondering if it might be significant. If it might present an opening, maybe? Alright, I have an idea. Try pressing her on that last statement one more time. If you think so, but this time, instead of targeting the woman herself, let's see what we can get out of the detective. Alright then. I wonder what Cosmo's thinking. I'll find out soon enough, I suppose. Once I press Miss Brett. Alright, so we gotta go to the last statement again.
Yes!
Inferior, what do you mean? So... Yep.
Wait.
Yes, there it is again. The detective's reaction is just the same as before. Why? Up until now, the detective has been on the stand with Miss Brett as her interpreter. But things are very different now. For this testimony, the detective is just listening to what the English woman has to say. This could be a golden opportunity. What do you mean? When people are actually testifying, they're usually very careful not to let anything slip. However, when they're listening to someone else speak, you'll find they often let their guard down. You're right. Look at him. He's lost in his own thoughts. It's time to pursue the man and his train of thought. Sorry? Pursue? I'll explain how to do it now, Ryunosuke. It's all to do with the witness marker. I'm guessing this. What marker? Oh! At the moment, we're focused on Miss Brett, who is the person actually making the current statement. But by moving the marker left and right with A and D, you can turn your attention to other people on the stand. What? While you're looking at the other witnesses, you'll be able to pursue them with space. If you can catch the person at just the right time, you might uncover some new information to pursue. If you ever notice a strange atmosphere amongst the people in the stand, take a good look around. Alright then, so first I should move the marker with A and D and focus on the detective. Then pursue him with space and see what's on his mind. Here we go.
Wait. Excuse me.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, what's the meaning of this? I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to shock you. He really was lost in his thoughts. Deeply. It looked like you were thinking something just now, Inspector. Perhaps having heard what the lady next to you had just said? If there's something you'd like to say, please, share it with the court.
Objection!
What is the meaning of this? It is the delightful Englishwoman who's testifying at the moment. If you cannot find fault with her testimony, then the cross-examination should be over immediately. Oh, is that how it works? Absolutely not. The detective is in the stand, which makes him a valid witness. Yes, not to mention the fact that he's intimately involved in the case. Inspector Hosonaga. Yes? Do you have something to add in relation to the statement just made by Miss Brett? Well, yes. If you don't mind, I would like to speak. Uh-oh. Is he about to rat her out because she said shit? She talked shit? The lady is right. Our country's police procedures are not as modern as those used in Great Britain. Which is why I, Satoru Hosonaga, always strive to make every investigation I'm involved in flawless. What do you really mean by that? I'll tell you what I mean. I won't have evidence lacking on my watch. I'm not afraid to take everything I can from the scene of the crime. It's preserving evidence, you see. I don't care if they call me a crime scene thief. I'm not ashamed of what I've done. Crime scene thief? Well, it looks like the lady's remarks touched a nerve there. Take this, for example. Uh-oh. She doesn't like that. is that this is the bottle of carbonated water that I took to the victim's table on the day in question. And yes, it's lost all of its fizz, having been opened 3 days ago now. But it was carbonated water. I don't care what anyone says. Yes, there's some left in the bottle. I can see it. One day our police force will be among the best in the world. Time is coming. I guarantee it. Is he about to fucking die on the stand? I can't say I condone the witness's action, but I do understand the sentiment. The court will accept the glass bottle of water as evidence. I see. So, I'm gonna have to inspect that shit, don't I? Miss Brett? Can you confirm this is indeed the bottle from which you drank of on the day of the victim's death?
Yes, it was that bottle.
What was that about? She seemed to avert her eyes when she answered the judge's question. Very well. Counsel, you may resume the cross-examination. And the inspector will kindly control his fervor. Ahem. Unfortunately, I have no idea what the format is. Alright, let me inspect that. There's something up with this. The label is written in a foreign language that I don't recognize. Do you know what it says, Kazuma? I think it's French. It must be very expensive water. Yes, but what does it say? That's what I was asking. Then go to France and ask. You could just say that you don't know. Anything else on this bottle? The water, mayhaps? So this carbonated water is the last drink Dr. Wilson ever had. It looks like there's a little left in the bottle, although it's just plain water now. You know, I've been sweating so much. I'm absolutely parched. I just have a sip of this to keep me going. Don't you fucking do it. No, Ryunosuke, you can't do that. For one thing, that's evidence. You can't go drinking evidence. Oh no, you're right. We don't know what might be inside, do we? You never cease to amaze me, Ryunosuke, in more ways than one. I wonder, would there be anything in this water? What's the matter? You've gone quiet all of a sudden. I think I might have just worked something out. An interesting possibility. As have I. Waiter brought my steak. The professor and I raised our glasses in a toast. As far as I've heard, postmortem report show no other causes besides a gunshot. So it'll be this one, right? Do show me. Do I have to present the water? I'm doing it.
Yes!
It's the right answer because the music went off. What is this? The bottle of water? Actually, there's one method of killing a man without leaving a trace that comes to mind. Obviously, I'm referring to poison. Poison? On the day of his death, we know that Dr. Wilson drank from this bottle of carbonated water. Could it be that there was poison inside? Could it be that the professor actually died after taking a sip from his glass? Order! 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 And on that day, who was sitting at the same table as the professor and able to slip the poison into his drink? There's only one person who could possibly have done that. Giselle Brett, it was you! Uh-oh.
Objection!
Here we go.
This is outrageous. Suggest such a thing without a scrap of evidence. You little rookie imbecile. Have you ever considered the delicate situation our country finds itself in now? Have you forgotten that we have only just signed an accord of friendship with the British Empire? Have you even the vaguest inkling that your rash accusations could jeopardize the entire treaty?
Objection!
This is not a political arena. This is a trial to determine one individual's guilt with respect to one crime.
Well,
The fact that this woman is British makes no difference. We are here to determine the truth. Yeah.
If I may.
I will silence you forever for this disgraceful attack.
Oh, God.
It is you who should be silent.
Of course. Dear lady!
Where did that come from? She just snapped. Show your face!
I'm afraid I may have spoken unfairly before. I offer my most humble apologies.
I'm sorry, my lady. To what are you referring?
I described your police force as inferior, but no matter how inferior they may be, you still investigated this particular point thoroughly, I believe. The bottle, I mean, Inspector, and whether it contained poison or not.
Of course. Fuck you, you did not. You did? Have you forgotten what my guiding principle is already? I strive for a flawless investigation every time. I don't believe it. Naturally, we tested the inside of the bottle and its contents. And what did you find, Inspector? I ordered tests for every toxin that's available in the country at the present time. We could find no trace of poison of any description in the bottle of carbonated water, Your Excellency. You fucking liar. What? Are you sure? The tests were meticulously carried out by the chief coroner himself. No. No! God damn it, the liars in this country. The police force.
I am very grateful to all of you Japanese. You've successfully established my complete innocence in this horrid affair. Thank you.
But of course, dear lady, the pleasure was all ours.
That's a fucking lie. I was so sure. This can't be right. Everything falls into place if he was poisoned. Thank you, counsel. I think that cross-examination has clarified everything. As the prosecution has asserted, a shot to the chest from this gun is the only conceivable cause of death. Furthermore, the accused, who by his own admission was holding this weapon, is the only possible culprit. I'm done for. The court wishes to apologize for the great inconvenience this has caused you, Miss Brett.
Oh no, I'm just glad the matter is resolved.
Before proceeding, I must ask the counsel of the defense. Do you have any further new evidence to present the court at this point? Kazuma. I'm sorry, Ryunosuke. I have nothing more.
Well, if you'll excuse me now, I really must be leaving.
Wait. Someone's going to object.
Hold it!
Oh. Oh. Is it who I think it is? It is! It's her! Whoever your name is.
Please, wait! Isn't that...
What is the meaning of this?
Forgive me for intruding on court proceedings, Your Excellency. Sasato Mikotoba, Judicial Assistant to the Defense.
Mikotoba. In my darkest hour, with nowhere left to go, she appeared like a bolt of lightning. And in her hand, she carried a small package wrapped in a furoshiki cloth, whatever. Is it a bottle of poison? Oh, we're done. Another to be continued? We're not even done with the first case! Well, I guess we'll leave it there since this is another hour and a half recording. Wow, okay. I did not expect that. Not at all. Yeah, we'll save the current progress. I guess... Okay. So I guess in the next episode, we'll be finishing up the case then. I thought we would be finished today, but I guess not. Okay then. Wow. This case is a whirlwind of expectations, it seems. So, uh, yeah. Huh. I'm at a loss for words. I thought we would be done, but I guess not. Alright, so in the next episode, we'll be finishing off, hopefully, Case 1, The Adventure of the Great Departure. Yeah. I'll see you guys then. Bye-bye.